Well, if you're like me, you love to watch baggers that race or racing baggers, however you want to call it. And let's talk about that a little bit. You probably heard of the King of Baggers, but do you know that there's two other leagues and one of them has gone international? So hang out, let's talk about racing baggers. Well, hello and welcome to Road Rush Nation. Thank you so much for stopping by and checking out the channel. If you're a member of the nation, thank you so much. And if you'd like to be a member of the nation, it's free. All you need to do is hit that subscribe button and don't forget to hit that bell so you don't miss out on any upcoming episodes. All right, you're probably going, what does this chick know about racing? Well, guess what? I love racing, and actually back in my younger days, I used to race, but it was with four wheels, not two, and I loved to do drag racing. And I'm fortunate that I have family and friends that are still involved with racing, and I love dirt bikes. I love it all. Let me show you a few things that I have just around my office area that shows you I like racing. So let's talk about the first league, which is King of Baggers. And maybe you've heard of this, but this was started a few years ago, and I call it the Manufacturers League because it was started by Harley, and Indian got in on it. So it's primarily just Indian and Harley racing teams. There's a few other teams that are involved with this, but primarily you're going to see those bikes and those teams in here. So you're going to see a lot of the same riders who are winning these races, and it's fun to watch. You will see this in Daytona Beach at Bike Week. They had it, and hopefully, if you were in Daytona, you went and saw this. So you'll see, here's your motorcycle specifications for this class, and it's a Harley-Davidson Road Glide, all years, Indian Challengers, all years. The minimum weight is 620 pounds, and your rider age limit is 18 to 55. You're not going to find many of the older riders. Usually they're in their 30s or so, and they're racing on these bikes. A lot of the innovations that have come out on the bikes, weight and so, has generated because of the King of Baggers, and it's a lot of fun to watch and to see what's going on. So here's the calendar for 2026, and of course, we just had Daytona there, and it's coming up on Georgia, Alabama, Wisconsin, Washington, California, Ohio, Virginia, and Texas, and the last one will be in New Jersey. It's really grown since it started, and they've added more and more race, and of course you get to see all the other classes of bikes like the super bikes and the sport bikes and so on at these races. Now, the only bad thing is that, of course, it's not international. But let's take a look at some of the racing that they do on the track.
Pass that Harley down the front straightaway, and then that is going to create a gap possibly. You see this here? Now Kyle can't get through there, through the infield as fast as he'd like, although
they have the guy that's for the job. Their crew chief in flat track, Steve Polk. He won the Production Twins Championship, and then he came over to King of the Baggers and won the championship with Hayden Gillum. And he moved from California to Indiana to work full-time for Vance and Heinz.
And how extremely different it was and is for them from last year's setup. So here's a draft and pass by Gillum, high on the banking, side by side with his teammate. Got to give him some room with those big bags in the way. All the while, Kyle Wyman gets a double draft, able to suck up a little bit closer to these guys. So there goes Gillum to the lead. And now right there in the mix as well. The number 38 of Bradley Smith on that Harley-Davidson Dynojet factory racing machine. As anything for these Indian challengers who have proven to be very fast on the banking.
Yep, and here we go. This is going to be the run. All the bikes are sideways as they come out of turn number 6. I did see Hayden Gillum go through right in front of our position here, but now it looks like it's a 2-horse race. It looks like Rocco lost a little bit of ground, possibly, but that could just be a way for him to create a little space in order to draft past both the bikes in front of him. I just don't feel like Bradley has the bike
on the banking.
Yeah,
on the banking.
Even though he's gone the fastest mile an hour.
Yeah, it's like the acceleration out of here. Here we go. What a run from Troy Herfoss. He got a huge gap.
Perfect.
Now for Kyle Wyman, he's going to try to catch a slipstream, but Rocco Landers going to try to spoil the air. Landers going down. Does he have enough real estate to reel his teammate in as Troy Herfoss now goes into Rocco Landers' line, but Herfoss has got a great gap as he makes the run to the line. It's going to be Troy Herfoss with victory here in Mission King of the Baggers, race number 2 over Rocco Landers and Kyle Wyman in third.
Now this one I'm pretty excited about. Here is Harley-Davidson Bagger World Cup. For our International Road Rush Nation members, get excited because guess what? Now you'll get to see the racing baggers in Europe and around the world. And this has more of an international feel. You'll find a lot of the riders that are in the King of Bagger will also be over in the World Cup. And this was pretty exciting. They just started it this year, but I think this was a smart move. I think you'll see Indian get more involved in this as it grows and it develops. And also Indian is in a transition with the new ownership of the company, and I'm sure they're going to feel out what they can and can't do, or what they do or do not want to do. But internationally, I think this is great. They just had the first race in Austin, and now they're going to go global. So let's take a look at some of the racing from the World Cup.
We are just moments away from the inaugural race in the all-new FIM Harley-Davidson Bagger World Cup. Yesterday, it was Eric Granado who set the benchmark with pole position ahead of Archie McDonald and Oscar Gutierrez. But that can all change here at the Circuits of the Americas in Austin, Texas. It's been a long time coming, but finally we will see Harley-Davidson race action and the first chapter of what is set to be a memorable season. Win the first ever Harley-Davidson Bagger World Cup race. Well then, history about to be made. A new soundtrack for MotoGP and motorcycle racing fans the world over. And we are underway. And we have predicted different starts right across the grid. And we definitely got them. Archie McDonald it is, who's going to lead it up towards turn 1. Who's that coming up the inside? And the number 13. That looked to me like it was Corey West. Indeed it was. And Corey West has got himself up into the top 4. But what a great start by Archie McDonald. Neil, you called it absolutely perfectly. As what I know about motorcycle racing, perhaps. Eric Granado, pole sitter, he's there in second place. Trying to work out who that is in third place. Going to have a decent look. Carl, what do you make of the start?
It's Jake Lewis.
That's Jake Lewis. Yeah, he's trying to latch onto those front two.
Very good start indeed. Corey West it was in fourth. Shame out Dimas Eki Patama's double along that penalty.
4 and 5, but Eric's going to sit back there and learn and understand where he's stronger. I think in the sector 3 is where.
But it does look as though Archie McDonald has got this one well sewn up as he comes around this fabulous triple right-hander towards the end of this lap. It has been quite the week for the young Australian here in Austin. Came over here with not much of a reputation, but he's going to leave COTA with his reputation very much inflated.
And I tell you what, the 69 win in America, that's going to do the home fans properly well, isn't it? Well, Mad Dog is top dog. Archie McDonald takes victory, the first ever in the Harley-Davidson Bagger World Cup, the 69 P1. Jake Lewis on the podium there in P2 from the second row of the grid, and from the third row of the grid, Filippo Ravelli. Top job to Filippo Ravelli ahead of Corey West, who comes home fourth. Fifth for Travis Wyman. It's what could have been Eric Granado, who is going to be spitting feathers over that one.
This is the one, if you've ever thought about getting into bagger racing and said, it's only for the rich guys and it's only for the big manufacturers, guess what? This is the league I love, and it's the Bagger Racing League. This is more of your sportsman class, the guys that have been wrenching on their bikes for years, and the guys that are out there racing on the track. This is a great league to see. If you want to get into this, go for it. I've had friends that have participated in this, and they've had a great time. Now, the biggest thing is you got to go out and get sponsors, but I will tell you, it's pretty awesome. They don't have as many races as the other leagues, and that's just because it's more of a sportsman class. But let's take a look at some of the racing that they do. Now, let me tell you, though, that all of these racing leagues you can see on YouTube, so you can see all the races there. But I'm going to tell you, Bagger Racing League, wow. When it comes to feeling like you're at the races, I give this an A+. And here's a warning for you.
Drag Specialties Battle of the Baggers, brought to you by Newcastle Harley-Davidson. Let's ride. Well, this is stop number 7 of the Drag Specialties Battle of Baggers presented by Memphis Shades. We're here at the Sin City Bagger Showdown, and this is the Andrews Bagger GP, the Barnett Super Street, and the Pirelli Pro Stock class. Onboard cameras, action, excitement. Gang, we're getting ready to throw the green flag and put this one in the books.
Got this. Fucking go get him.
Little knuckle punch there. They know that they're getting excited. And there goes the green flag. Turning 20 baggers loose. We are on board with Matt Denora and Tony Tucker. Watch these riders slice and dice and try to chip their way up into the front, and immediately out front, look at Jake Masters, the Australian. Now, he is in the Pirelli Pro Stock class. He came from up near the front of that pack, but with a very aggressive move, heads to the front. Matthew Maldonado right in front of him. That's a CVO. One of the newest bikes that Harley-Davidson makes with a ton of technology in it, and he brought it out to the racetrack. Back on board with Matt Denoyer right now. And we can see that the number 374, Cody Gilmore. Gilmore's won championships, but he wants the Andrews Bagger GP. With that comes the Fred Fox Cup, and that's the one that he has been looking for, as well as his team owners, and Alex Fox and Joe Hupp. Carl Schlack right in front of him. Carl does a lot of duties with the BRL. Matt Denoyer back on board with him. And there's a streak of rider. Eric Ray is coming in. A lot of these guys will lift a little bit early. So Arnie Wells now has some company coming up behind him. Another group of riders that we like to keep our eye on out there. That's Nick Salmon. And Nick Salmon has made the drive out here, put together a very inexpensive bagger, something he had in the back of the shop, and he has put that machine on the podium already this year, and he's always a factor. The look of this gives you an idea of just what kind of lean angles we're expecting. And here's Jake Masters, the Australian. Rides that familiar number 9 Sly Glide that was made famous by Stan Fox, Alex Fox's father, in Indy cars and midget racing. And Corey on the Jaybird Customs Road Glide back after the HHI Road Glide. And Corey gets a big drag coming out of the corner, and he's able to pull up alongside Carl Schlack, and he goes to the front of that battle, but Schlack battles back. Carl Schlack stays on the gas and goes back past Mike Corey. Corey's going to try to come back after him one more time. Wells has joined the hunt right now. Arnie on the FDR Cruise bike right there joined it when they needed to fill in. I'd mentioned for Tony Salima. Tony was one of the pioneers in road racing Harleys. Now we have a 3 battle pack. That is the 99 up front. That obviously is a very, very, very tight group of riders right now. They're going to have to find their way. Drew Jinkert holds them off, and it looks like Tony Tucker is starting to come under attack now from Arnie Wells. Clay Braun, his teammate, is also starting to stock this pack of riders. Clay does some work in the barber shop. He's got a brand new career job, and man, is he an exciting rider to watch. Mike Corey back after Schlack as well, and All Balls will be joining them, along with Cody Gilmore, who will run the number 1 plate and pick up the Fred Fox Cup. 3 times it's gone to the gang at Trask. And there is the checkered flag.
Hopefully I was able to share a little information about what's out there in the bagger racing world that maybe you didn't know. Maybe it gives you an opportunity to look at some of those. I Personally, I like all three leagues, and they all offer something a little different, from the King of Baggers, which is really your manufacturing league, to the Baggers Racing League, which I really like because that's your sportsmen. That's the guys that are just wrenching in their garages, don't have the huge sponsors. Then for our international Road Rush Nation members who want to go watch baggers race, then you've got the World Cup, the Harley-Davidson World Cup, which I think is really a great addition onto those MotoGP adventures that are out there and racing, so you can kind of spend a whole weekend watching all kinds of racing. Well, thanks again for stopping by, and I really appreciate it. And remember, if you'd like to be a member of the nation, it's free. All you need to do is hit that subscribe button, and don't forget to hit the bell so you don't miss out on any upcoming episodes. Ride safe, and I hope to catch you on the highways.